Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be playing the Object 268 version 4. It's a tank that I absolutely love. It is one of my favorites, and it is an absolute beast. Now, this is basically an Object 268 on steroids. Literally, it is on steroids. It's always been the way ever since it was introduced into the game, and yeah, it's not really been touched. It's not really been spoken about, over the last few months because people, I assume, have just got used to the tank. But I went and played the tank. I did get lucky in one of my games, which you're going to see. But yeah, it's still a fantastic tank. It can still withhold all the shots that come in front of you, because the armor profile is just absolutely incredible. It really, really, really is. So we're going to look at the stats and then we're going to get into a couple of games. So the hit points is just at 1850, but your armor on paper is 260 millimeters on the front of your hull. Now, again, you can get that to a lot more if you are angling, wiggling. It is very, very hard to get through the front of this tank. 105 on the sides, not so good, and 80 on the rear, not so good. Now, your DPM is 2,779. We are actually running calibrated shells just to maximize the penetration. Your reload time is just 14 seconds. Now, your penetration with that calibrated shells is 278 on your APCR and 363 on your heat. So you'll get through just about anything. Now, the HE pen is not great. Now, bear in mind that we are running calibrated shells. It is just 57. So yeah, HE pen is absolutely awful for a tank destroyer. Now, the alpha is very nice at 650 on your APCR, which is your standard round, 580 on your heat, and 800 on your HE. Aim time is 4 seconds and the gun dispersion is 0.407, and you only have 5 degrees of gun depression. So yeah, you haven't got much gun depression at all, so bear that in mind. Your top speed is 40 kilometers per hour, so it's not the quickest of tanks, but it's not the slowest either, and I just think the tank overall is fantastic. Would I say it's overpowered? I mean, I still think it is borderline overpowered, this tank. Honestly, it's amazing. It really is amazing. Now, these two games, I mean, this game here, you'll see, it was easy. I mean, no one challenged me really. It was very, very easy. And the next game is also easy because I had an AFK. I'm going to admit it. I did have an AFK. I was pleasantly happy to see the AFK because the AFK happened right at the right time. But we'll get to that in a minute. So how do I play the tank? Do you play it like an Object 268? Now, the Object 268, which is the tech tree version, usually you do kind of sit at the back of the map. You camp a little bit. You try and get your shots off. However, with the 268 version 4, because the armor profile is so different and so much better, I never really sit at the back of the map. I don't really use it as a sniping tank destroyer. I do try and get in the thick of it. You know, I do try and get up front line as close as I possibly can and help my team. I don't usually go with the mediums because you can get caught out if you do come up against those mediums, and even though they're going to struggle to pen you frontally, they're not going to struggle to get around you, and they're not going to struggle to circle you. So I do tend to go with my heavy tanks. I've got the armor of a heavy tank, and it's a lot difficult for them to circle me. So yeah, I do try to go with my heavy tanks as much as I possibly can. As you can see here, like at the minute, 2.2k damage. We haven't been we haven't been even shot at the moment, and I think we're only going to get shot at once, and that is from this standard B, who yeah, I mean, he's not even going to penetrate me. So that there was a failed HE shot. I thought, you know what, it's going well, I might as well try and attempt to go for the shot. And as I'm coming down here, that's one thing I'm not scared of as well. I mean, I have been playing it and I have been penetrated by some tanks, but I'm not scared just to go into the enemy. You know, if you've got a heavy tank, especially if it's a medium tank, I'm not scared just going forward. As long as you can wiggle and make that armor sort of a lot more difficult to penetrate, then yeah, you're probably going to bounce most things that come your way. So you'll see that a lot with my gameplay in this tank. Like, I'm not afraid to go forward, and that is a lot of people don't do that with a tank destroyer, especially something like the Object 268 or the Object 268 version 4. But even though they're very, very similar tanks, I play them so differently. But again, it's all because of the armor profile of the 268 version 4. Now, the Object 268, I haven't made a video on the Object 268 for quite a while, to be fair. So I will make an updated video on that. Yeah, but the armor profile can be troll. It can be troll on the Object 268. But yeah, it's not the greatest. You can easily be penned, whereas the Object 268 version 4, like, you'll see some tanks looking at you and you can see their gun moving, and like they're trying to go for a weak point. And yeah, unless you're in something like a big tank destroyer or something with a lot of pen, yeah, that they are going to struggle to penetrate you. And as you can see there, we get a nice bounce. They do damage our gun. But yeah, we do get lucky this game. As I've said, we are all pushing around. I mean, there's a couple of guys there. There goes one guy, and now there's two guys there, the Yo and the E100, that are pretty much isolated. The enemy team have done a fantastic push there. I'm not going to lie. That was a very quick push. But sadly, this pattern decides to sit back and try to be the hero, and that is potentially what could have cost them this game. So there that guy goes. We're two guys down. The Yo is about to die. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go round with my team. I'm just going to sit here and try to go for anyone that comes round, because at the minute it's a 6 versus 4. The Caro now is in a very bad position. There goes the bat chat. I do manage to get the STB1 down to a one shot. And yeah, it's at the minute it's a 4 versus 5. It's, well, now a 3 versus 4. And yeah, you know, I'm still full hit points, so anything is possible. Now I'm going to switch to the heat here, and I'm going to take my time with this Badger, because I really wanted to get the shot off. I didn't want to miss, because it is a 3 versus 4. And you know, the Badger is fantastically armored. It's got great DPM, and I didn't want to miss that shot. I really wanted to get the shot, and luckily I did, because I do bring him now down to a one shot. Now we've got the STB here on his left, on his own against the 60 TP, and we've got the 121 on his own against 3 tanks. So I really want to go for the Badger right now. He is a one shot, and I do clear him. He's the one with the really strong armor. He's the one with the DPM. Now there goes the STB. I'm on my own against 3 tanks. Now I need to get lucky here. I need to get lucky with some high rolls. Luckily, there goes that 60 TP, which now leaves me alone against 2 tanks. Now, this is where I get very, very lucky, because the AMX has decided to go AFK. And luckily for me, I'm getting some very high rolls here. Over 700 high roll there. And this is now with me using heat. So even now, I'm like, okay, I have to penetrate this guy. I'm using heat, and even though I do have a max roll loaded, I still get lucky with that max roll over 700. And then all of a sudden, that leaves me alone against an AFK. Now, of course, it is very unlucky for the enemy team. You couldn't pick a worse time for this AMX 50B, because if he was still alive, he would have then got behind me while I'm face hugging the E100. So we do get very lucky, but you know what? We'll take it. We will take it. Sometimes you have to be lucky, and today was my day. So we do get the win. We do get a Kolobanov. We do get 4 kills, and we do get 6.6k damage. We did only block 680, so we didn't block the best, but you know, it can work. But that battle goes to show that people can still penetrate you frontally as well. So you're not, you know, you're not, what's the word? Invincible. You're not invincible, so that goes to show it. But I still think it is a fantastic tank, very, very strong armor, and if you play it correctly, you can do just as much damage as this very, very easily. So for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Let me know what you think of the Object 268 version 4 in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.